Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating concept that could, literally, change the game for how creators protect their work. We're going to unpack the mathematical and legal architecture behind modern innovation. Specifically, we're looking at the Ethereum General Public License, or the EGPL, and how it acts as this massive protective shell. The goal here, to understand how this brilliant system mathematically defends genuine human effort, what the law actually calls the sweat of the brow, from just getting swallowed whole by closed AI monopolies. Let's get into it. So, here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover, first, the corporate extraction problem. Second, the broken patent system. Third, the EGPL protective shell. Fourth, the Copyleft poison pill. Fifth, the automated monetization engine. And finally, number 6, achieving true creator sovereignty.
All right, Section 1, the corporate extraction problem.
Let's establish the raw, very real dilemma of the everyday creator. Right now, independent devs and creators are caught in what the sources perfectly describe as a wood chipper effect of algorithmic extraction. Look at this historical parallel. It's kind of crazy. Back in the 18th century, you had the stationers' company. They used their absolute monopoly on the physical printing press to essentially extract all the value from writers. You literally couldn't print your own book without surrendering your rights to them. Fast forward to today, and massive tech platforms are pulling the exact same playbook, just with different hardware. Instead of printing presses, they're weaponizing their monopoly on data centers, GPUs, and large language models to extract your data, your code, and ultimately your sovereignty. They trap creators in this metered utility where all the value just flows up, extracted at the top by corporate hoarders, while the actual builders are left fighting for crumbs.
Moving on to Section 2, the broken patent system. Now, you'd probably think the traditional patent system would shield creators from this, right? Well, actually, it's been completely inverted into a weapon to crush the little guy. Take Zaxcom, for example. They're an independent creator who won an Emmy for their digital wireless mic tech. An actual Emmy, but massive corporate competitors just infringed on their work anyway. And when Zaxcom fought back, those giants didn't play fair. They aggressively spammed the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, the PTAB, with overlapping petitions. They basically used bureaucratic paperwork to drown them. Get this. Zaxcom's patents were invalidated 14 grueling years after they were issued. 14 years. I mean, how on earth is an indie creator supposed to survive a decade and a half of legal attacks? It just proves our current system is a legal thicket where the biggest budget always beats the best invention.
This brings us to Section 3, EGPL, the protective shell.
This whole situation perfectly highlights why we literally have to engineer our way out of this trap. Enter the EGPL, the Ethereum General Public License. Think of it as a modern-day Statute of Anne, which is a nod to the world's very first copyright law that gave rights back to authors. But here's the kicker. Instead of relying on slow courts and expensive lawyers, the EGPL legally anchors its defense directly into the technical protocol itself. By synthesizing advanced legal theory with hard code, it acts as a protective shell. It actively shields the open source ecosystem from corporate lock-in, making sure public goods actually stay public.
So how does it actually do that? Let's look at Section 4, the Copyleft poison pill. To understand how this shield fights off hostile AI takeovers, you have to look at its most aggressive mechanism. It's a copyleft poison pill, and it works in 3 steps. Step 1. A massive, closed AI factory secretly scrapes your open source code to mine data without permission. Step 2. That very network interaction instantly triggers a strict EGPL license breach. And Step 3. As a result, the closed AI system is legally forced to open source its own proprietary tech in return. That's exactly why it's a poison pill. If a multi-billion-dollar closed AI touches your EGPL code, the legal infection spreads and they have to reveal their crown jewels to the public. Because doing that would destroy their entire corporate moat, they simply won't touch it. It's a brilliant systemic sandbox that fundamentally protects your sovereignty by perfectly aligning the incentives.
All right, Section 5, the automated monetization engine.
So having a massive defensive shield is amazing, for sure. But defense is only half the battle. Everyday people supplying the sweat of their brow need to actually get paid. This is where contract secured revenue, or CSR via ERC 1696, comes in. Think of network sequencers like literal toll booths on a digital highway. Historically, those centralized toll booths keep all the fees. But ERC 1696 completely reroutes those fees away from the sequencers and sends them directly back to the original author. It mathematically anchors this revenue into a CSR NFT, which is basically a pristine digital deed proving who wrote the code. And the absolute best part,
It triggers automated micro-royalties instantly at the silicon level. No lawyers, no agonizing court battles, just smooth, automatic compensation.
To make this dense concept a bit more concrete, think about the music publishing royalty model. When you turn on the radio, listening is completely free for you, the everyday listener. But behind the scenes, high-volume commercial radio stations are paying into back-end pools to compensate the songwriters for generating ad revenue. The EGPL protective shell applies this exact same model to open-source software. The code remains totally free for a solo developer or hobbyist to inspect, modify, and learn from. But if a massive commercial AI engine takes that code and plugs it into their high-volume revenue machine, boom, they are legally forced to pay automated royalties. It solves the biggest problem in open source today.
There's a quote from the inventor in the source material that I just absolutely love. Author opt-in for revenue, consumer zero cost. I mean, it's such a clean synthesis. Author opt-in for revenue, consumer zero cost. It proves we can build a deeply collaborative ecosystem that respects open source sharing while finally ensuring the actual creators get rewarded instead of just the corporate hoarders.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 6, Achieving True Creator Sovereignty.
Let's bring this all together. When we compare traditional patents to this new model of permissionless patents, it is a total paradigm shift. Look at the foundation. Instead of relying on heavy state-granted legal authority, we're using pure, undeniable cryptographic evidence. For enforcement, we're ditching 14 years of brutal court litigation for protocol execution right at the silicon level. Monetization shifts from captive authors paying high costs to completely automated micro-royalties. And critically, access flips from closed secret code to an environment that's completely open for public learning. It guarantees technical inalienability, meaning your right to be compensated cannot be physically or legally stripped away from your code. It's a complete reimagination of the digital economy.
So I want to wrap up this explainer by leaving you with a really provocative question to ponder. Are we ready for a system that actually pays the creators? Like, are you ready to step into a world of true creator sovereignty, moving away from permissioned licenses to a reality where pure math and cryptography automatically enforce your value? If code really is the new law, it's about time we wrote better laws into our code. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and keep learning.